This is a story about how a mysterious 80s arcade game made gamers fall into trances, kids turn into addicts, and then something really crazy happened. Was this government mind control? Were people secretly being experimented on? Or is it just an urban legend? Stay tuned and let's dive in. Welcome to History Unfolded. Polybius, an arcade game that lived up to its creepy name. Gamers who played it said the game screwed with your mind. It caused nausea and migraines. Others mentioned getting nightmares after playing it, and when you tried to stop someone, people would get violent. There were even mentions of entire fights breaking out because of the game. Some said the game caused amnesia and even suicidal thoughts. Now this is where it gets crazy. When it seemed things couldn't get any weirder, men in black suits came in, gathered whatever data they wanted to from the machines, and then took them away, and no one ever saw or heard from the game since. At least, that's how the story goes. But is this a real story? The thing is, there is no hard evidence that the game ever existed. No cabinet, no ROM file, and no news reports. Just eyewitness accounts. Some people even say that it's just a story. But as you know, in every story, there's always a grain of truth. Actually, there's a whole lot of wild stuff that did go down in the 80s. For context, back then coin-ops were in their golden age. Arcades were the place to be. Without the internet or phones back then, socializing was actually a thing. The arcades were packed with kids throwing quarters into hits like Pac-Man, Asteroids, and Tempest. And wouldn't you believe it, but Portland was the testing ground of new games, the perfect place for something like Polybius to appear. This is where we'd love for another thing to appear, a like and subscribe. It would go a long way to helping our channel, and we appreciate all your support. On with the video. So the thing is, arcades were infamous, and not necessarily in the good way. Suspicions of illegal gambling drew cops to arcades often, and in one case, after two kids got really sick from playing a few games, the FBI raided local arcades over gambling concerns. Agents were legitimately seen weirdly watching machines and recording scores. Kinda makes the whole Polybius story that much more believable. Back then, early games were kinda basic, but already pushing the limits of what the human body could handle. Flashing lights, hypnotic patterns, and overwhelming sound effects made reports of players getting sick or having epileptic seizures all too real. At the time, there were also real fears about mind control programs and government conspiracies, fueled by things like the Watergate scandal, the very real MKUltra program the CIA ran, as well as sci-fi feeding fears of technology. So it's no wonder a story like Polybius exists. At this point, do you think the game could have been real? Is the government still experimenting on people? Let us know in the comments. One bit of the story that persists is that apparently in 1981, a shady company called Sinneschlossen, a distorted German word for sense erasure, allegedly created the game. A perfect name, wouldn't you say? While it may seem like a conspiracy, the stigma has always remained that anything weird that German scientists supposedly created harked back to World War II, where Nazi scientists were using drugs and other methods to experiment on prisoners and even soldiers, trying to influence the mind. So, honestly, what's the verdict? Was Polybius real? The honest answer? We don't know. But if you ask, were projects like this likely? The answer is definitely. Untold thousands of files were destroyed in the wake of the Watergate scandal by the CIA. Thanks to people like Edward Snowden, the fact that government secrecy persists to this day is no joke, and means that some buried projects like Polybius really could have existed. What do you think? Was Polybius a government experiment or just a creepy tale? Is the CIA watching us all right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments and like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Would you like to see more videos on the mysteries of history? Let us know. We're reading every comment. Till next time, stay curious.